Hi everyone, welcome to day 23 of your 30-day Pilates challenge. Today we are going to be strengthening our spines. Let's get started standing up. So I want us to go ahead and find a wall that you can stand against. I want you to stand with your feet right in line with your hips, so then there's parallel position. If you can, try to find a wall with nothing on it. I have this paneling here. It's not great. Try to find just a plain wall. You're going to go ahead and bring your hands into this goalpost position up against the wall. Right away, I want you to feel the backs of your hands pressing into the wall here. So you have this firm push already firing up the muscles through the backs of the shoulders. From here, we're going to start to reach our arms overhead, just sliding your hands against the wall. And then you're going to pull the elbows back into that goalpost position. Continue that flow here, reaching the arms overhead. They're creating a V position. And then you're going to slide the arms down, stopping once the elbows come in line with shoulders. As you're moving, the goal is to keep this connection of your arms to the wall. That way, we're pressing into this nice neutral position. So your spine is strong, your abs are pulling in tight, and we're getting this big stretch here through the arms as you reach overhead. Let's go 3 more like this, reaching the arms overhead for 3. Pull the elbows down. 2 more, arms reach overhead for 2. Pull back down, let's do 1 more. Make sure your core is pulling in tight, arms reach overhead. They pull back in. I want you to keep the elbows in line with your shoulders. You're gonna start to rotate the palms to the floor and then press the hands back towards your wall. So you're getting this rotation now right from the shoulder and then pushing back. Making sure the back of your head is pressing against the wall. So we want to keep that neck nice and long. We're just going for 4 and push. 3 and press. Let's do 2 more. 2, you should start to feel a little bit of heat through the upper body. On 1, keep your arms there. I just want you to pull the elbows in and then press back out to that goalpost position. So we're keeping the elbows in line with our shoulders. They're never dropping down further than that. Let's hug the elbows in for 4. I'm still pushing the back of my head into the wall. 3. 2 more, elbows touch in, 2. Let's do 1 more. Push the elbows back to the wall 1 more time. Reach the arms overhead and slide the arms down the wall. Maybe if the arms weren't touching on the first set, see if you can push the arms a little further back into the wall. Just for 4. Let's lift for 3. 2 more, 2. Last 1. And bring the arms all the way down. You should feel the upper body a little more awake now. You're gonna stand onto your mat. Go ahead and face the top of your mat. I want our feet nice and wide. Legs parallel, so your toes are facing forward. Our arms are gonna reach up to the ceiling. Already start to think about your abdominals pulling in tight. Arms are reaching nice and long. We're gonna hinge right from the hips. You're just gonna take a reach forward, pausing once you get there. Noticing that my head is in line with my hips. Not higher, not lower. I'm in this nice straight line here. Energy shooting out through my fingertips. I'm gonna come all the way back up to standing nice and tall. Inhale, hinge forward, keeping that flat back, imagining that wall behind you, and then lifting back up. It's a hinge right from the hips, reaching the arms forward, and then pulling the shape back up. Let's do 2 more like that. Inhale, reach. Exhale to lift. Last 1, connect breath to movement. Inhale, hinge forward. Exhale as you lift. Let's add on. I want you to hinge forward. I want you to bend your knees, keeping the flat back, and straighten back up. Bending the knees and straighten. In this position, you should feel the backs of the shoulders firing up to keep the arms in line with the ears. You should feel energy reaching out through the crown of your head. Let's go 3 more. 3. Standing up for 2. Last 1, reach and hold. All I want you to do is flip your palms to face the floor. Bend your elbows to pull the elbows in by your ribs. Reach the arms back out in front of you. So you're gonna pull the arms in with resistance and then shoot energy through the fingertips to reach forward. As you're moving, you'll start to notice a little bit of heat through the hamstrings. The legs are starting to fire up as well. And then making sure you're not forgetting about the core. You're still pulling in from the front of the abdominals to support the spine. Let's go 3. Flatten that back even more, 2. On 1, reach your arms forward, palms flip in, lift all the way up, nice and tall. Let's add all of that together. You're gonna take a hinge forward. Palms face the floor. You're gonna bend your knees as you pull the elbows in. Reach the arms forward, straighten the legs, lift back up. We take that hinge, bend everything in, reach straight out, and lift. Let's go 4 more like that. Hinge from the hips, bend, pull the spine longer, and lift. 3 more. Hinge, bend, reach through the arms, and lift. Last 2. Make sure that spine isn't collapsing. Pull the spine longer. 1 more. Hinge, bend, reach. Last set here. Just circle the arms back to your hips, and then circle the arms up overhead. Reach the arms wide, all the way back to the hips, and then all the way around. 4 more. Let's circle for 4. Make sure the core is still pulling in tight for 3. 2 more. 2. Last one. Reach all the way forward. Hinge forward. Walk your feet in towards each other. You're in a downward dog. Walk the hands out. Drop your chest down towards your thighs. I want you to just take a prance of the feet here to reset. Lift one heel and then you switch. Let's go 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold the heels down for 1. Just drop into that stretch. I want us to come onto our toes. Start to roll through your spine forward all the way until you're in a plank. You might need to walk your hands forward a little bit so they're right under your shoulders. Breathing here. Feel all of that engagement we just built through the spine. So your back is nice and strong. Your core is pulling in tight. And you're just connecting to your breath here. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. 1 more. I want us to shift back to our downward dog. Walk the hands in a little closer. Open the feet a little wider. You're going to reach your left arm towards your right ankle and take a twist here. Really press your heels down to the floor. Try to spiral your chest underneath that right shoulder. And then bring your left arm to the mat. Right arm reaches across. You're in that spinal rotation here. Again, trying to gaze underneath your left arm. Breathing into that twist. Let's bring your hands back down to the mat. You're going to bring the feet parallel. I want you to shift back onto your toes. Start to roll forward into your plank. Maybe walk the arms out a little bit further. Hold this position 1 more time. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Your heels should be reaching back. Your shoulders should be pulling out of your ears. 1 more like that. And then lower the knees down. You're in an all-fours position, wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. I want us to find just a reach forward with your arm, reaching out up by your ear and lowering down. Other arm is going to reach out and you lower. Similar to when you were in that standing position and you had that hinge right from your hip socket. It's that same position, but now we're challenging our obliques here as we come into single arm and in a second single leg work. Go ahead and reach your left arm out. Reach your right leg straight back. Feel your spine pulling longer. I want you to tap the arm and leg down. Lift the arm and leg back up. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. The spine is staying nice and still. Just the limbs are moving for 3, 2, hold for 1. Again, torso still. Open the arm and leg out in opposition and then pull back to center. Inhale as you open. Exhale to pull. 3 more. I'm pressing down through my right hand and into the floor with my left shin. One more, inhale to open. Exhale to pull in, lower that side down. Right arm reaches out, feel energy through the shoulder. Reach your left leg out. Lower the arm and leg down, and then lift back up. Tendency here for a lot of people is to lift that back leg too high, and then they dump into their lower back. So I want you to focus on keeping your lower back nice and long. Let's lift 3 more. 3, 2. Hold for 1, open the arm and leg out to the side, and then pull back to center. Inhale as you open, exhale to come in. Let's do 3 more. Push down through your left hand, and push down to the floor with your right shin. Last one. Lower, down. Good, so we prepped that opposite arm and leg reach. We're gonna come into a plank next. You have the option to stay on your knees if you want that modification. If not, I want you to come back to your all fours position to start. Step your right foot back, tuck your hips slightly just so you can pull in from the abs. Step your other leg back, hold. I want the legs open slightly wider than the hips. I want you to start with shoulder taps here. Tap your right hand to left shoulder, lower down. Alternating sides. I just want us to get this feeling of shifting our weight into one hand. Let's reach for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down, take a second. As much as you can, you want to keep your weight centered and minimize any shifting side to side. So your shoulders are trying to stay squared, hips try to stay squared to the mat. Let's add on here. You're gonna find that plank position, step 1 foot back, step your other foot back. This time I want you to lift your right leg up and then lower your right leg down. Left leg lifts to that hover and lower. So now instead of finding those shoulder taps, we're just finding single leg lifts here. Now I'm pushing through the mat with both hands. Let's go 4. My spine is pulling nice and long. 3, 2, and 1. Lower on down. Take a second. Roll out the wrists if you need. We're gonna add on opposite arm and leg reach this time in our plank. Coming back forward, wrists under shoulders, step 1 foot back, step your other foot back. Open the feet just a little wider. I want you to start by reaching your right leg back. Energy reaching long through the toes. Start to just reach your left arm forward. See if you can find that balance. Lower that arm and leg down, shifting just ever so slightly into that right foot. Reach your left leg back. Start to push through that left hand as you reach your right arm forward. Notice if anything shifted. Lower that arm and leg down. Let's do 1 more each side. Start with the leg. Push into the mat. Reach the other arm forward. Lower down. 1 more, last side. Left leg lifts. Right arm reaches long. Lower down. Shift up to your downward dog. Really nice, everyone. Breathe into this stretch here. In this downward dog position, all I want you to do is turn the right toes towards the outside of your mat. You're gonna tuck your left foot underneath, so you're hooking that foot, and then you're gonna slowly start to sit onto your left hip, reach your right arm out. This exercise is called twist. Now we're in our nice setup, so you're gonna start to thread your right arm through, pike your hips up to that stretch, and then take a seat all the way down. Just reach that right arm up and over. Thread the right arm through, pike your hips up, and then come back down. Just a little reset here. 2 more, pike the hips up, and lower. Let's do 1 more like that. Pike up, pause, lower your hand down, bring the legs back into your downward dog. This time, turn your left toes to the corner of your mat. Tuck your right foot under your left. Now you're gonna sit onto your right hip, reach your left arm open. Into your twist, pike your hips up, reach that left arm underneath, and then big circle of the arm as you sit back down. Pike your hips up, and sit back down. I have a lot of support and control from my right shoulder. It's pushing me up into this pike, and then it's lowering me down with control down into my seated position. Last one, press up to your twist, lower your left hand down, uncross the leg. Both feet are pressing into the mat. One more time into that downward dog. Shift onto your toes, come back into that plank position, adjust as needed. From here, we're gonna lower down into a chaturanga. So you're gonna keep the elbows narrow, shift forward, lower all the way down until you're laying onto your mat. Untuck your toes. I want us to reach our hands behind our head. Interlace the fingertips here. Elbows press wide, legs open to a V. Inhale, lift up to your back extension. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale to lower. Continue that flow. My elbows are never touching the floor. My gaze is staying down towards my mat. 3 more. Slow and controlled. 2. Lower down. Bring your hands right underneath your shoulders. Gaze is still down towards the mat. Lift your arms up to a hover. Lift your chest. Reach your arms out. Pull the arms in. Lower down. Hands up to the mat. Lift the arms first. Lift your back. Reach your arms overhead. Pull the elbows in. Lower the chest. Lower the hands. Continue that flow. We've done this before. It's that similar action to when we first started and we were in that standing position. Now, instead of just a flat back, we're pulling up to this spinal extension. This is so important to work our spinal extensors, to reverse all of that rounding we do throughout the day. On our computers, on our phones, when we're driving, we're constantly rounding our back and looking down. So we need to build these muscles to support our spine and reverse the effects of gravity on our body. Lower all the way down, push into your hands, lift into your swan, and exhale, lower back down. Inhale, push into your hands. Exhale, lower. Modification is just to reach the arms further in front of you. 2 more. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. 1 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. I want you to reach the arms all the way overhead. Your head is pressing down to the mat. We're gonna lift up our arms, lift our legs. Everything floats up off the mat. And everything lowers down. Inhale, everything lifts up. Exhale, everything lowers. 3 more like that. Let's lift up for 3. Lift up for 2. 1 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Relax. 1 ear onto the mat. Take a second. We have one last final exercise here. We're going to come into swimming. So you're going to reach your arms overhead to the V. Bring your gaze down to your mat. On your inhale, you're going to hover everything up. We're going to start to kick. Swim the arms, swim the legs. Your breath is an inhale for 2. Exhale for 2. Inhale for 2. Exhale for 2. Let's go. 4 more. Two more. Lift a little higher. Last one. And relax. Sit back into a child's pose, everyone. Really nice. Taking that counter stretch here. Hips back, arms reach forward. Breathe into your back body. And then just shift forward back onto your all fours. I want us to end with a cat-cow here, just to stretch our spine a little bit. Hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Inhale, extend into your cow. Exhale into your cat. Taking this at your own timing, really focusing on this rounding of your back as you tuck your hips underneath And you really push your hands down into the mat to round your spine. 3 more. Last one. And come all the way to seated. And you guys are done for the day.